Pelagic zone refers to open and free waters in the body of the ocean that stretch between the ocean surface and the ocean bottom. The epipelagic zone, or upper open ocean, is the part of the ocean where there is enough sunlight for algae to utilize photosynthesis. Generally speaking, this zone reaches from the surface down to approximately 288 meters, or 658 feet. Limitations of the epipelagic: no substrate for attachment, no bottom for burrowing or deposit feeding. Places to hide for predators are extremely limited. Predators cannot easily catch their prey for the same reason. Plankton are the diverse collection of organisms found in water that are unable to propel themselves against the current. In the ocean, they provide a crucial source of food to many small and large aquatic organisms, such as bivalves, fish, and whale. Holoplankton. These zooplankton spend their entire lives drifting through the epi and mesopelagic zones. Zooplankton, small floating or weakly swimming organisms that drift with water currents and, with phytoplankton, make up the platonic food supply upon which almost all oceanic organisms are ultimately dependent. Meroplankton. This group of organisms begins life drifting throughout the sea until they grow and mature enough to settle in another area. Phytoplankton, also known as microalgae, are similar to terrestrial plants in that they contain chlorophyll and require sunlight in order to live and grow. Diatoms, extremely important primary producers, common in all marine waters but tend to be more important in cold water. Maybe unitary cell or a colony of cells. Dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates are unicellular protists which exhibit a great diversity of form. These species reproduce in such great numbers that the water may appear golden or red, producing a red tide. Dinoflagellates produce a neurotoxin which affects muscle function in susceptible organisms. Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are useful for the environment as they help for the growth of many plants. They are one of very few groups of organisms that can convert nitrogen into an organic form, such as nitrate or ammonia. Coccolithophores, one of the main types of phytoplankton in the ocean, known for their production in plates of calcium carbonate, occur in the Neritic and oceanic waters. Silicoflagellates, having one or two flagella, a definite nucleus, and a spiny skeleton made of silica. Baby, what have I done? Copepods, group of small crustaceans found in nearly every freshwater and saltwater habitat. Feed on phytoplankton as well as other zooplankton. Also serve as a major source of food for other consumers. Salps, semi-transparent barrel-shaped marine animals that move throughout the water by contracting bands of muscles which ring the body. Salps are pelagic tunicates that use mucus nets to capture food particles. Pteropods are platonic mollusks. The molluscian foot is modified as wings. Reduced shell can be found in epipelagic or deeper waters. Arrowworms, fish-like predators of smaller zooplankton. Jellyfishes and comb jellies are considered as plankton because they mostly drift in the currents. I just hope I did the right thing for me and you. The meroplankton only spends a portion of its life as plankton. Includes larvae of animals that are part of plankton as fishes, or part of the benthos as adults. Mollusks, polychaete worms, crustaceans, echinoderms, and many kinds of invertebrates. Nekton, organisms that swim against the currents and purposefully move in any direction they choose. Examples: fishes, penguins, squids, sea turtles, marine mammals.
So many dark and lonely nights, but I believe someday I'll see the light.
Living in the epipelagic. Living in the epipelagic means finding ways to stay afloat. This can be accomplished by increasing buoyancy by means of accumulating lipids or air, or by increasing surface area or drag. Some organisms increase their surface area by being flat. Others have a variety of spines or appendages to increase their surface area. In both cases, increasing the surface area promotes the drag or water resistance, which helps keep bodies from sinking. Some organisms increase buoyancy by storing droplets of lipids, which tend to float because they are less dense than water.
And if the mist ever lets the sun through, I just hope I did the right thing for me and you. For me and you.
Floating organisms are classified as Neuston, float just beneath surface, and Pleuston. Some parts float above and some parts below surface. Because pelagic animals have virtually no place to hide, they must have other means for finding prey or avoiding being eaten. Fast swimming, protective coloration, vertical migrations, and a variety of sense organs are adaptations to accomplish this. To blend in with their environment, organisms can have different types of protective coloration: countershading, camouflage, and transparency. Eyes can be used to form images or simply to sense light or dark or patterns. Most pelagic animals have well-developed eyes. Eyesight is used to capture prey, avoid being eaten, find mates, and for some, to stay in groups. Cartilaginous and bony fish have a lateral line for sensing of prey or predators. Dolphins and other cetaceans use echolocation. One way to hide is lack of coloration and becoming transparent. This is the case with many jellyfishes, comb jellies, salps, lauroaceans, and some zooplankton. Countershading. Dorsal surface is darker than the ventral surface. Epipelagic predators must be able to swim quickly to capture prey. This is accomplished by several adaptations in pelagic fishes, such as in tunas: a streamlined body to reduce drag, a strongly forked caudal tail to increase thrust, and a narrow caudal pedicle to concentrate energy on the caudal fin. Heat energy generated by muscle activity is carried back in returning blood. Red muscles, high concentration of myoglobin, which stores extra oxygen. Some pelagic animals move into deeper waters during the day to avoid predators. At night, they move back into shallower waters to feed on phytoplankton. This predator avoidance comes with a cost. It takes more energy to migrate than to stay in one place. Primary production limits. Nutrients, particularly nitrate, most important, and phosphate. Light. Even when there is normally plenty of light in the pelagic environment, absent at night for so long stretches in high latitudes in winter. Seasonal patterns. Bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms are important recyclers of nutrients in the epipelagic microbial loop. Areas of upwelling. The heat and cooling of surface waters can cause deeper water to be brought to the surface in certain areas.